When did we lose our sense of sovereignty? Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said, look, in our fight to retain our sovereignty, maintain our sovereignty, we will take assistance from our friends and so on. But nothing can prevent us or hold us down when it comes to issues of sovereignty and the pursuit of the national interest. That should be the guiding principle. Now, this question of weakness, I don't know where it's coming from. Ghana is a member of the Economic Community of West African States. That's a leverage we have. Ghana is a member of the African Union. That's a leverage we have. Ghana is a member of the non-aligned movement. That's a leverage we have. We have so many, we belong to so many international organizations, and that gives us leverage and weight, dependent on our diplomatic skills, and our ability to sway others like us to go with us. That's strength. The biggest strength perhaps we have is that as we speak now, Ghana is hosting the forward operating base of AFRICOM. Here, it's here. I mean, if that is not strength, what else is strength? As we speak, NATO, which includes the United States of America, is asking for permission to establish drone bases in Ghana, La Côte d'Ivoire, and Benin. Is that not strength enough? Ghana's history is strength. Our history is a history of a small country of 32 million people, which led the national liberation struggle in Africa. That's strength. And the fact that we are not affected alone, Botswana is affected so heavily and so on. South Africa is also being bullied, and South Africa is a superpower in Africa. Sure. Everybody is being bullied. And then we sit back and say, oh, we are too weak to fight the United States. We are not fighting the United States. We are not asking our government to fight the United States. We are insisting that our government should do the right thing to protect the national interest. Look, the bully does not stop acting. The bully does not stop bullying if he sees that you are cowering. The bully stops misbehaving only if the bully realizes that he has a price to pay for bullying. And we must make it clear that we will make them pay that price if they continue on this tangent. Why? As we speak, the imposition of tariffs is not just on Ghana. It's on a powerful country like China. China is supposed to be the second largest economy in the world. The imposition of tariffs is on even European Union members and so on. So don't let us think that this is just about Ghana and the United States of America. This is an attack on the world trading system. And I'm so happy that President John Mahama Mahama recognizes that. I mean, the statement we just read from him recognizes that there's an attack on the world trading system, which is based on legality and so on. And we should act as such and stop behaving like Danish, children who have encountered a bully and are running into their mother's arms and so on. That is not the posture we should be taking. The U.S. has attacked us. You understand? The U.S. has launched very vicious attacks on Ghana. And this whole argument that, as for Ghana, they only slap 10% tariffs, the minimum and so on. You see, we should go beyond percentages.
The voodoo formula.
Yeah, it's a very interesting formula. Yeah?
No, we should go beyond percentages. 10% of a million is not the same as 10% of 5.
True.
So we should do a quantitative analysis of what is happening and stop this percentages game which doesn't mean anything. I mean, every secondary school child can play this game of percentages. This is not a sophisticated game. So 10% of what are we talking about? Yes, Botswana has more than 50%, 57% or so. Lesotho has 57% or so.
South Africa and so on.
Yeah. But what is that 50%? What does it represent in terms of impact on the national economy? This is the kind of analysis we want to hear. Not these lame statements, I mean, what is wrong with us? When I read the statement, I was wondering whether this was was Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs or it was some banana republic's statement. What is this? The United States has launched an attack on us, a vicious attack on us, which doesn't make economic sense, doesn't make political sense, which takes us for granted, which is intended to bully us into submission, and we must act accordingly. Why? Can you quantify the benefits that the United States of America is getting out of its military base, which is stationed there? That forward operating base. Can you guess? That's a major national security concern for the United States of America, and we should take that into cognizance. America says that it's addressing unfair relationships with other countries in the world. Unfair relationships.
It's addressing trade imbalance.
Unfair relationships.
Unfair relationships.
Bottom line, unfair relationships. Right. My goodness. What is this? The United States of America talking to Ghana about an unfair relationship? History teaches us that from the days of the transatlantic slave trade, we have always been the disadvantaged partner in the relations with the U.S. Why? Hundreds of thousands of our forebears, hundreds of thousands, not just lame people, not sick people, the strongest of our people, our architects, our engineers, our medical practitioners and so on, were captured as beasts of burden, worked to build the accumulation which today makes the United States what it is, for hundreds of years without pay. Who is disadvantaged? Who is disadvantaged? Is it the United States of America which is disadvantaged, or is Ghana which is disadvantaged in that relationship? What kind of talk is this? What kind of lameness are we exhibiting? I cannot understand this. We must begin now to send strong signals to the United States of America that it cannot take us for granted. That this is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. This is a strong base for Pan-Africanism. This is a country which has the necessary international links and therefore has some leverage in negotiations. Now, if you're going to go into negotiations and you start off going into the negotiations by claiming that, oh, we are so weak we can't fight, that is surrender. You are not negotiating anywhere. Because in both bilateral and multilateral negotiations, everybody gives something and everybody takes something. So if you go to the table already with your hands behind you, claiming that you have nothing, you don't have any strength and so on, what are you telling the person you're going to negotiate with, the country you're going to negotiate with? That is surrender. That amounts to surrender and not negotiation. They should stop wasting our years about negotiations.
Chiefs, there were some countries like China who had attempted to retaliate, but they have signaled the America that they will retaliate. Sure. Of course, some countries have chosen the diplomatic path. Let's talk, let's judge and see whether we can resolve this thing.
All the paths are diplomatic. China's part is also diplomatic.
They have rescinded it. Initially, they have
a strong stand.
Yes, they have a strong stance.
Yeah.
And they will retaliate.
And just by virtue of that strong stance that they took, the man then says, I am moving the tariff I had initially imposed on you to now 104. Just because they disagree.
And have you heard China's response?
Yes.
China's response is
yes.
if you go to 104.
Yes. They know how to play the game. I mean, China, they are very good at playing these games, because they know the sort of powers that they wield relative to U.S. Business and so on and so. But how should we approach it? In fact, yesterday, Kojo Nkrumah had granted media some interview on this matter, and he was of the opinion that perhaps we're not dealing with this we're not taking this matter as seriously as we should. He was of the opinion that based on, for instance, what Virginia had said at that meeting with something, and he was the deputy trade minister, that look, based on this interaction we've had, it looks like you may have to escalate the conversation to a higher level. Perhaps what she was suggesting was that this had to be dealt with on a president to president level, and it's of course not everybody who agrees with that approach, but I don't know where you stand on this. First of all, your own thoughts about whether are we having the right conversations about the impact of this on Ghana, and how do you think we should approach this?
Firstly, I want to say good morning to all your viewers. And also my family and extended family.
Okay.
We lost our uncle
Oh,
Sampi.
Oh, yeah. Interestingly, the last time you were here,
Yeah, I
it
was
the
there
two
with
of
him.
you.
In fact, I was there and I sat here. That was the last time I met with him.
Yes.
And we had a conversation.
And he kept referring to us as a nephew.
Yes, I lived with him in India when he was an ambassador.
Oh, you lived with him?
Yes, I lived with him.
In India?
Yes. I lived with him for about 3 months.
Oh, I see.
Yes. It's not that it's a far distance relation. It's
Close relations.
A Hunter family on my mother's side. So,
Okay. Oh, may he so rest in peace.
May he so rest in peace, yes. And then
Last Saturday, I had a very unpleasant experience. Typically, I shouldn't be sharing it, but because it has to do with Good Evening Ghana, I'm going to share it to you. This is the Kumasi International Airport, Prempeh the First International Airport, and I happened to be there on Saturday. So I had gone for a funeral and in the Bonahafo areas, and we're coming back so through Kumasi, and then I got there to get a flight on Africa World, one of the hard-working domestic carriers. And so as I got into the airport, and there are a few people there, once people started coming around, we were talking. There was one very senior member of parliament over there. So we were talking, and then there was another important NDC appointee who was also there. So the conversation was naturally politics. And then a man walks in whom I don't know. Now I know, I've been told who he is, but I don't know him. So he came and they were talking, and he said, he shook hands with the MP and then the NDC appointee. And then he said, pointing to me, as for this guy, we should beat him. I said, hey, who's this? He said, we should beat you. And I said, well, who are you going to beat? Beat for what? So I thought he was joking. I said, oh, who are you going to beat somebody for what? He said, you think that, who do you think you are? If this is Nigeria, NDC is in power and you are still on TV, you're a foolish boy. We'll beat you, beat your children. That's your mother at Makola. I know the shop. I'll go and slap her. I said, who is this? Everybody was beckoning me, don't mind him, don't mind him, don't mind him, don't mind him. So it was going on. We'll beat you. So the member of parliament took him away and said, let's go. Oh, he won't go. He was beckoning towards me. We will see, we'll slap you. You can be on TV and be talking foolish. You think that if this is Nigeria, you think you'll be alive and be on TV and be talking nonsense? Anyway, so this is the photograph that we got of him. This is the guy. Look at him. This is him. This is the guy. Our investigations turn out that he's called Nanapoku and he's a presidential staffer. You know, let me show you the other photographs of him. So, this is him when he arrived, with his back to me after he had made the initial comments of I'll beat you, I'll beat you. This is the NDC appointee that I don't want to show you. And then this is the hand that is holding his hand is the member of parliament who was trying to calm him down. And then eventually the member of parliament tried to drive him out. And this is him still looking at me and still shouting, we'll beat you, we'll beat your mother. You have an auntie in a doom market. I'll go and slap her. And he was talking, we'll beat your children. I said, Everybody was beckoning, we don't mind him, don't mind. Look at his face. Put his face, please, put his face on, let them see. Apparently, it's called Nanapoku. He's a presidential staffer at Jubilee House. I don't know what has become of these people. You think if this is Nigeria, you'll be here. I don't know I don't know whether they've gone to Nigeria to live there. But this is him. Presidential staffer will beat your mother, will beat you. This is the guy. So we took the photographs of him very quickly. Everybody was looking at him. And so I got to know that he must be a very important person, because when the plane arrived, this aircraft that brought us to Accra had the Ashanti regional minister on board. It had this very senior NDC person on board. But then there was a fleet of cars when we got down that came to pick him up. So that made me know that he must be a very important person. So during the interaction, then I said something about everything you are doing will be reported. Oh, okay. You can't, even Julius Debra cannot do anything to me. Then when he mentioned Julius Debra, then I knew that maybe he has some connection with the chief of staff. You can go and report. Julius Debra cannot do anything. We run the Jubilee House. We are the engine of Jubilee House. So when they came out as a presidential staff, I wasn't surprised. These are the things he was saying. You beat me, you beat my mother, you beat my children. This guy, 3 months in Jubilee House. I don't know what he was doing. This is called Nanapoku. I don't know what he was doing before he became presidential staffer in January. I don't know what he was doing. But this is him. Say, if NDC is in power and you are still on TV, if this is Nigeria, you think you say NDC is in power, so somebody shouldn't be on TV? When MPP was in power, those who ran a narrative against MPP, were they not on TV? Are they still not on TV? What is wrong with these people? How does power get into their head? And this is presidential staffer of that high rank. And when we arrived, the Ashanti regional minister didn't get picked up. This very senior NDC person didn't get picked up. They all came around the conveyor belt and we continued chatting and we picked up. But he got picked up by a fleet of cars. So then I knew that he's something. Nana Poku is his name. As we put the we have reported this, of course. We've certainly, it's a major threat. So we've reported it to the authorities. And during the conversation, they said that this guy is Nana Poku. They said a few things about him this afternoon when I went to make the report. But that one I won't say it. And I'm hoping that the investigations will be conducted thoroughly. And I'll report to you viewers what they say. But this is the guy, Nana Poku. I'll beat you. I'll beat your mother. Mother? Are you really serious? What is wrong? And then he starts, nobody can, we are the engine. He said he's the engine of Jubilee House. He said, Nana Poku, he's the engine of Jubilee House. That Julius Debra cannot, if I think I'm going to report to Julius Debra cannot do anything to him. But, I mean, when I saw the fleet of cars that picked him from the tarmac, and the Ashanti regional minister was not picked up that way, and the very senior government appointee was not picked up that way, then I suspected, hey, then the guy is some very big man. So when we started, when I went this afternoon to report by lawyers, and then they looked and said, oh, this is Nana Poku. I said, they said, he's a presidential staffer or something like that. He's in the Jubilee House. That is him. This is when he was being led away, and he was still looking at me. He saw that I was photographing. He was still looking at me. And menacingly, the guy was taking him away. That is okay, it's okay, go out. He won't go away. We'll beat your children. We'll beat your mother. I mean, really? Is that what this country has become? Akufo-Addo was president over there. People were talking about him every day on morning show. Every day. Did any NPP person see and say, we'll beat your mother, we'll beat you? And I mean, the NDC people that were there, I thought they were more senior to him. But when the car came to pick him up, a fleet of cars came to pick him from an Africa World, Accra Kumasi plane. He can't go to the conveyor belt to take his bag like the Ashanti regional minister was doing. So when we were walking out, I got to the conversation with the Ashanti regional minister, and I was whispering to him. I was telling him that those seats that his people cannot get, he should support some of us who are his Ashanti relatives to get it. Then he laughed. He said, Paul Adumoche, what seat are you looking for? I said, no, I'm not looking for any seat. He said, no, tell me. I said, no, I'm not looking for any seat. I'm just saying that some of the seats, your people can't get it, so you have to support us. And we joked about it. And he said, who told you we can't get it? We have moved from 34%. Next time we are getting 50 in Ashanti. And then we all laughed it off. These are reasonable people. This is Ashanti regional minister, one of the most popular ministers of John Mahama so far. He didn't go, a fleet of cars didn't come and pick him. This guy, this Nana Poku guy, who has such misbehavior tendencies, rather had a fleet of cars that came to pick him up. The Ashanti regional minister went there and took his luggage with us. The senior NDC appointee went there and took his luggage with us. There was another NDC appointee whom I don't know, but I could see that because of the pageantry around him, I could see he's an important person. And then they all left. But he was picked up with a fleet of cars. And this is the guy who is telling me, if you are in Nigeria, NDC cannot be empowering you on TV and that. He said he's the engine of Jubilee House. I don't know whether Jubilee House is now an automobile that has an engine.